Okay, so I was just asked this question, which I think is really great because I think every entrepreneur should know this. Because it pertains to you standing in the fire and helping somebody work through their challenges and their limiting beliefs to be able to become successful with you, especially if you're a coach or a consultant of any shape or form. So how do you know if you're dealing with a toxic person or a challenging person? And it's a great question because especially if you don't have an overload of clients, meaning that you don't have too many, and you're fighting with the fact that you really need every client that you have or every customer that you have, it's hard to let somebody go that maybe is toxic. And it's also hard to determine whether or not someone's just challenging and not toxic. So here's the distinction between the two. If you are standing for someone and you're being honest, because it takes you being honest, telling them the blind spots that they're not seeing in themselves, really your intention is to help them get to the other side of whatever challenge they're facing to reach their goal. And a toxic person will get mad at you, they'll lash out, they'll start blaming you, they'll call you negative words, they don't even want to succeed. Right? They think they want to succeed, but they're more committed to being right about you being wrong, that they become toxic, or they attack other people in Facebook groups, or they have a lot of people who are, standing for them to change their attitude. So toxic people, they go and they take other people with them and pull them down. So when you have a toxic person, let's say a group coaching program, they're the person that goes and starts side talking to other people, enrolling them in, unenrolling them in their vision, like enrolling them in the program's bad, or enrolling them, they just cause problems. Toxic people don't just hold their opinions to themselves, they go out and they try and create an army of people to, just demolish something. So it's one person, a challenging person. I used to be a challenging person. I mean, the most common thing that people used to say to me is when I would give a compliment, they would say, "Wow, coming from you, Shanda, that's really great." And I'm really proud to say that that's not my reputation today, but I was a really challenging person. I was so driven, and sometimes people are so driven and so hard that they don't realize that their drive and their hardness is challenging for people to be around. And so they are a little righteous. They do tend to see things their way, and they have a hard time seeing outside of, their way of doing things. But that person will shift. Right? So if you can actually just provide them a good reason to shift, or you're able to land with them in a way that they could see a better way to do it, they'll shift, because at the end of the day, their heart is pure to change. So toxic people will not shift, and they will take people down with them. Challenging people will battle their internal battles, and they just want so badly for you to be able to reach out to them and break them through. So they're willing to break through. That's the difference. You have a toxic person, end it quickly.